Hey, how's it going guys? Mick Ambrose from AllAboutTech. Welcome back to another video. Today is part 5 of Question Time with Richard Ells. I really hope you enjoy this episode. Some exclusive information coming in this episode, so make sure you watch it through thoroughly. Make sure you like this video. Like the previous episodes as well, so much decent, really good information come out of these videos. Make sure you subscribe to All About Tech. So much cool things coming at the end of the series. So I've got this episode and one more to come tomorrow, and then at the end of the series I'm going to be doing a conclusion video, my experience there, what the offices are like. And go from there really. So you will be getting a video every single day this week from All About Tech. What other channel gives you literal daily content, guys? I put so much effort into this. I really hope you enjoyed this series and enjoy the part 5 of Question Time with Richard Ells. I really hope you enjoy it. So moving into the next question, we are getting towards the end of the questions. So getting straight into it. So the gig economy. Yep. What types of services will be available for not just those seeking skills, but those that are selling skills as well? What sort of things?
Well, it all comes down to what level of skills the people have got and what technology they've got access to. So initially, we know that they've got a smartphone. It's likely to be an Android smartphone. So we have to think about what skills. So we're going to be actually teaching people to teach other people. So we're going to have a series of videos that show people what skills they could sell. I talked about in another video the ability to do stop frame animation. There is no cost to that person to build you can get a stop frame animation app for nothing. So you could start building stop frame animations and supplying them for nothing. So then when you think about, well, what could you do? You've got company logos or things that people do. You could do whiteboard animations, real ones, drawing things, and there's that kind of stuff that's easy enough to do. Now there's other things that people buy in gigs. There's all sorts of crazy things people buy in gigs. Testimonial, so reading out testimonials as an actor, logging into social and posting on people's behalf. So if you've got a whole bunch of social content, people could do it for you. Content research, people can do on a phone. So you could say, right, could you please give me a breakdown of these subjects, and someone could do an abstract of what they are. There's all sorts of things that you could do just from a phone. Then if you can start to earn money from your phone, and you're confident that you are able to do that by hooking in, and we're going to need to market this, by the way. This just won't. We don't need to market the gig economy for the user side. And when I say that, we don't need to spend a fortune marketing it to our users, because we've got access to our users. So we can send an email out, we can put it on our social, we've got community reach. But we will need to work at the other end, attracting users to purchase their skills, which we'll be doing because it's new and it's radical. I think we should have a good run at that in terms of publicity. But we will then try and get these people to earn enough money that they can then go off and buy a laptop. If you can buy a laptop, suddenly the world opens up. So from a digital skill point of view, these guys could learn now. They've got much more ability to move things around, store files and do stuff. You could make and edit videos. You can make and edit sounds. You could compose tunes. You can do much more with social media. You can learn to program things. You can get involved in the programming economy, which is absolutely vast online. You know, as soon as you've got into the laptop world, and what's a laptop? 150 quid probably will get you started in that. Maybe even less actually. Probably 100 to 150 dollars will probably get you a laptop and get you started. So as long as there's the ability for them to sell some skills, as long as they're learning some skills, they're able to keep moving forwards. So
fantastic, awesome stuff. I'm actually really looking forward to the gig economy website.
Yeah, me too.
I've been thinking about doing some like lecturing and stuff on it.
Oh yeah, fantastic.
ETN.
And just quickly, I'm not trying to make this another product particularly. It's going to be another product. It's called Gig Guru actually. So if you own gigguru.com, get in touch because I really wanted to buy it. I've tried to get in touch with them, haven't been able to. We own gig.guru, and that's what we were going to call it, Gig Guru. It's the first time anyone's ever heard that. So that's kind of what we wanted to launch it off. But if Fiverr come along or people per hour come along and say, actually, I want to accept ETN, we will embrace that because those guys have already got a monster market. They've already got a product that works, etc. Fiverr had a little experiment with Bitcoin. I think they closed it in 2017. But that's obviously 2017 was when Bitcoin kind of started to take off. But they did experiment with accepting and paying in Bitcoin. But what you've got to remember is that there was no environment for that Bitcoin to be spent. So somebody trying to achieve financial inclusion by having some Bitcoin, what would they do with the Bitcoin? You know, so it's important that we're building these economies and enabling them to spend the ETN that they're earning. I think that's really important. So yeah, we would welcome other people running. We're not trying to be the gig economy and keep other people out. You know, we want to be an enabler of the gig economy, and we will embrace anyone else who's running a gig economy site or a any kind of site that's a people per hour type site or whatever.
Perfect. And just in terms of the Fiverr Bitcoin thing, obviously when Fiverr were doing that experiment, it was at a time before the Lightning Network and when fees were extraordinarily high. Yeah. Extraordinarily high.
And people couldn't spend it. That's super critical.
Awesome stuff. So the next question I want to ask is about the blockchain. So obviously you've just talked back to ASICs, and now the stability of the blockchain is actually really, really impressive.
Yeah.
And
good distribution as well.
Yeah, there's just a question about are there any plans to develop the blockchain further for when you get the tens of millions of people? Yeah. Is it currently ready for high volumes?
Well, you'd get high volumes. Bearing in mind, I mean, we're using Monero's code for a very good reason. We loved Monero right from the start because of their dynamic block sizing, and we are using that. That means that the blocks, unlike Bitcoin, it's got fixed block sizes. As blocks get full, the next block that comes along is a little bit bigger, and then as blocks are empty, it will chop the block size back down. So the dynamic block sizing was the reason we chose Monero in the first place. So there's a few things in answer to that. Monero obviously is a privacy coin. For us, we are seeking to be a far more regulated cryptocurrency. So that means we've already stripped out one layer of privacy. So we've stripped one big chunk out, and there are probably a couple of other things we'd do to strip out a bit more privacy as well. So we're not bothered about being a privacy coin. We're all about fast and huge amounts of transactions in a block. There's another thing that we're doing with something else Monero have got, which are integrated addresses. So we've made some changes. I've seen it downstairs. The guys have worked on creating ETN integrated addresses, which contain a payment ID, which makes it easier for the exchanges. They're working on that at the moment for a future release. That enables us to do something else as well. This is a hypothetical situation more than it's coded yet. But if we start getting to huge user numbers, remember that we are a hybrid between centralization and decentralization. If we get enormous user numbers beyond because lots of people have said that the numbers you're talking about you can't run on a blockchain, and you know, if you talk about 200 million users making transactions every day, they're probably right. But we've got a plan for that as well. So if we get those kind of volumes, then what we will have is we'll have the ability for anyone within our network to be able to transfer between themselves. Bearing in mind we're in this hybrid model, so they'll be able to transfer 200 million a day is no problem for a fintech. That's eminently doable. And then as soon as the ETN address got detected as being outside of our network, it would push it to the blockchain. So you could make your transactions within our network, and then you'd said, I want to cash some out, so I want to go to an exchange. That would exist outside our network. It would go onto the blockchain and go to the exchange. Okay. And the same thing, bringing money back in from the exchange or from somewhere else. It goes into our network. Once it got into our network, you'd be able to trade it within our network. A bit like an exchange does. An exchange doesn't put every single thing onto the blockchain. It does all the things
for smoother flows of traffic.
Yeah. So when you're on exchange and you buy Bitcoin, you sell Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, sell Bitcoin, buy ETN, none of that's actually happening on the blockchain. It's only when you then say, I want to withdraw my Bitcoin, it goes onto the blockchain. So that's, I don't know whether everyone even knows that, but that's because of the centralized nature of exchanges, and we've got this centralized hybrid system. So we are quite capable of doing that. It doesn't exist right now, but we would be able to scale into that if it's required. So we do have a solution for monster scale.
Fantastic. So guys, I really hoped you enjoyed this part. I know this part was quite short compared to the other parts. There's one more part to come, but how about that? Gig.Guru, that's the first time Richard's ever spoken about the naming of the gig economy platform that they are building on Electroneum, and it's one of those things, isn't it, where they're building their own gig platform, but they're embracing the likes of Fiverr and other gig economies as well. I think it's really important because obviously, like Richard said, that those platforms have already established themselves. And I know that there was a lot of people questioning whether or not they were going to approach other gig economy websites, etc., to try and partner up and have Electroneum on those. So that looks like an approach that they're looking to have. I'm so pleased that AllAboutTech managed to get this exclusive gig guru. There's a name to it now. It's absolutely fantastic. And then in terms of when he was talking about the blockchain, how they are prepared for ultimate scaling when it comes down to everybody being able to transact with each other around the network, which is it's a really smart thing to do, because that's what exchanges do. You look at all of the trade volume on like something like Binance or Bittrex or Coinbase, well, not really Coinbase, but on these exchanges, buying and selling all these different cryptocurrencies, and it all happens pretty instantly, but that's because it's not processed on the blockchain until you withdraw it from that exchange. So with Electroneum, withdrawing it from that entity, it's just so cool how because they've got that hybrid decentralization, centralization, they can use the centralization aspect to give themselves a huge advantage. And yeah, it's really positive to see. So if you liked this video, guys, make sure you give it a like. Make sure you subscribe to the AllAboutTech YouTube channel. One more episode still to come. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you guys out in the next video. Peace out.